Hello, and welcome to our session hosted by Syngenta Seedcare. The title of this session is Field to Lab, addressing farmers' needs towards more efficient crop nutrition. We are at the 2025 edition of ISF World Seed Congress in wonderful Istanbul. We're enjoying the multiple opportunities to connect with our customers around the world. It's great to be at this session to have the farmer voice represented. We'll be highlighting how we work towards understanding growers' needs and how these needs help us develop new seed treatment technologies and services. My name is Guido Ramirez. I'm the Global Product Manager for Seedcare Biologicals. And today, I'm happy to have here two esteemed guests. Cezmi Sorman, third-generation farmer from the Manisa region, close to Izmir, here in Turkey, and Alex Hemming, our Global Assurance and Service Innovation Lead from the Seedcare Institute, based out of Basel in Switzerland. So, guys, let's get the conversation started, right? Cezmi, let's pretend Alex and I are visiting your farm in Manisa. Let's put you in your farming operation, a place you know really well, where you're comfortable. And why don't you tell us, Alex and myself, about your history, about your family history, and about your farming operation there.
My family is in farming business nearly 80 years in the same zone in Manisa, which is an important for agriculture and industry. But my father didn't want me to become a farmer. Because of this, he provided me a good education. I completed the best high schools and universities in Turkey. And I worked in one of the biggest companies in the energy sector. But my father had a heart attack while he was driving the tractor, and he passed away. And I became a farmer. This is where my history begins. I'm a cotton producer. We made a lot of investments in technology to make our business easier. We have tractors with GPS positioning systems. We are using drip irrigation systems with automatic filter systems. Also, we have a spraying machine with dosage adjustment and positioning system. We have an off-grid solar system. We try to use all the technology that we can reach.
Perfect. Wow, that's an impressive operation. Alex, can you do the same? Can you introduce yourself and the SEI to our audience here in Istanbul and globally?
Yes, absolutely. So the Seedcare Institute is Syngenta Seedcare Business's technical services function. And so what you get when you buy products from Syngenta Seedcare, the seed treaters and everybody involved, you also get application and services. We call it the PAS offer. And the application and services come from our team. And what our team looks like is around 120 experts in 16 countries that are really able to support their local seed treaters with customized recipes and support with their equipment and quality assurance. And so my role is assurance. That's where the assurance part comes from. Assurance means peace of mind. So we want to help the users of our products to have the best experience, to know that they have got a really good quality product. When they sell that seed on to the grower, then the grower also knows that's the best seed, it's got the best seed treatment. And the innovation part is then we want to bring things and do things new. It's not about standing still, we also bring new services.
Fantastic. So, Cezmi, let's go to farm management. When you think about your cotton crop and nutrition of your cotton crop, what's that nutritional plan? How does it look like? How do you work around fertilization? How do you know how much fertilizer to use? What's kind of your thought process around nutrition for your cotton crop to have the best yield possible?
Of course, first of all, we try to understand what our crop needs. Because of this, we are making soil analysis in every 2 years. And besides that, also we measure our water, our dynamic and static water levels, also the water flow, because water is also a nutrition. We measure the water flow between the 0 to 3 bars. And I can divide this nutrition part into the first one is the fertilizer. While we are preparing the soil for planting, we give fertilizer to the soil. And afterwards, before irrigation, we also make another fertilizer adjustments. Besides this, while our crop is growing, we also give different minerals, phosphor, potassium, or any other elements with the spraying machines and drip irrigation systems. It's one of the beneficials that drip irrigation system gained us.
Perfect. You mentioned soil analysis. That's one of your key practices, but looking more generally at soil, and being a family-owned farm, how do you look at soil? What are the changes that you've introduced since you took over to your farm in terms of taking care of the soil as a valuable asset to pass, hopefully, to the next generation?
Soil is the most valuable asset we have. We have to look carefully. So we try to disturb the soil less in the minimum level. Like in my zone, if you are a cotton planter, you tillage the soil for 10 times, and the 11th time you can plant the seed. That's a huge distribution. Now we are using combine machines. The tools can do 4 presses at once, and we can plant the cotton in the 4th or the 5th time according to the land, and we decrease our tractors working hours 35% by using these combine machines, and we also disturb the soil less.
When you look at your soil and your soil analysis, have you seen a change in your soil analysis after implementing this kind of practices in some of the nutrients or in the organic matter? Is that something that you've noticed that changed a little bit with the less disturbance of the soil? Do you see some, because sometimes with these practices it's more long term, right? But have you seen also some benefits already from?
Yeah, it takes time. Also, like we are using orgamineral fertilizers since 4 years. We are disturbing the soil less, but until now we didn't see the direct effect, because besides the disturbation, there are some other issues. Like we have to make our organic matter higher. Our land's organic materials are very low, between the 1% and 1.5%. So it will take time for us to see that income.
Yeah, we understand that, and the growers understand really well the value of soil and the value of seed, and the relationship between these two in this critical period that is the sowing and the establishment of that crop, right? So this is probably one of the critical decisions that you make in every season when you are planning ahead. When you need to evaluate your work as a farmer establishing that crop? What do you look for in this period, between the sowing and the establishment?
First of all, the soil should be at the right conditions. It differs from land to land, and also the climate should be at the right conditions. Like for a cotton producer, we need a 10 days non-rainy weather if you want to plant. Seed is the main tool we are using. It's very important us that the seed is very resistant to climate, for diseases and insects. It's very critical that the seed goes up the soil as soon as possible. If seed stays under the oil, it's very risky for us. We want the germination to be so fast, so we can create the value. If we plant and didn't get the product, crop, everything is meaningless.
Perfect. Alex, you mentioned briefly at the beginning about the work that SCI puts into this, how we work with the seed companies to make sure that the growers like Cezmi have the best crop establishment. So, Cezmi, you just mentioned some of the critical aspects, right? The speed, the emergence, the even crop. So what does the SCI, or the Seedcare Institute, does to give growers like Cezmi the best experience from, of course, with the seed, the germplasm, but also on the seed treatment technology?
Yeah, so just listening to Cezmi there, I can relate to several of the things that he was talking about. And the first part is to make sure that you've got your disease control, your insect control is there on the seed. So we're there to help the seed company ensure that they've got a really good quality seed treatment, and we offer services to help them check that during the season, at the end of the season, to make sure the equipment's running really well. And that will ensure that the actual biological control that you're paying for, right, it's there on the seed at the time of sowing. But then there's also a physical component. You were talking about the need to sow at a very critical time where the weather is right. Okay, you can't delay. If you have some problems during planting, right, with the machinery or something, you don't want to stop. You need to go. And again, our seed treatments, the recipe development service we would put in will ensure that that seed is highly plantable, has a really good low dust, and easy to plant, good quality seed coming right out of the bag. And we want the grower, the user of the seed, which has got our seed treatment on, to really recognize that and to feel that high quality.
Perfect. Cezmi, back to you. So you're probably aware of the new area or new segment within crop inputs, biologicals. How do you see, I mean, farmers are bombarded sometimes with multiple information products. How do you select a supplier, or what do you expect from a supplier in terms of biologicals and crop nutrition? What are your differentiators? What do you look for? Because you have probably a couple of 10, 20 people knocking at your door trying to offer. So what do you see as valuable?
First of all, we try to make our purchase from the known big companies, because if you create a value, please note that, let us know that the value. Like everything depends on the cost, but the most important thing, if we increase the yield, productivity, everything is worth. So the cost becomes the second plan. If you take the stress on the crop and give the right fertilizers, or decrease my disease and insect population, it's worth it. And the dealers between the companies and the farmers, the service quality is very low. Like, please get one-on-one touch with the farmers, and please let us know the value of your product, and please teach us the right way, the right method for applying, and the right amount.
That's a very good point. And from Seedcare Institute perspective, We are shaping a little bit our way of working, especially when we come into biologicals and nutrient use efficiency. So based on what Cezmi was just saying about the added value, can you explain, Alex, what we are doing in this area?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really important that we also continue to provide services with these new biological products and the biostimulants, and some of the biological products are quite difficult to handle, the microbials. People have concern that the microbials will be alive on the seed when they come to plant. And we are developing new services to help people to, in the seed distribution channel, to understand that. But then even we would like to develop services where we can come down to farm level to provide information, to provide some measurements or some small tools that people can use to look at their soil or their seed, and look at the activity of the microbials, and to try to understand also the function. Some of the action, what we used to think of as mode of action in synthetic chemistry, was a bit easier to understand. For the microbials or the biological products, it's a bit more difficult. And we also want to really support that with training and with information presented in a really nice and easy way for our customers.
I think, yeah, that's definitely one of the critical points around biologicals. There's a lot of interest, but the transfer of that knowledge to the farmer, until the farmer, is probably where we as developers we need to work on. Let's think a little bit about the future. So in your family farm, what are your main challenges that you see ahead?
Climate is the main challenge for us. It's rainless, or when it rains, it's come with the flood. Also, there are too much heat waves. One day it's 30 degrees, and 2 days later it lowers to 20 degrees. I see the most challenging part is the climate, and also have a hard time to find with the quality work labor. It's one of the biggest problems we have. We make investment to technology, but we don't have qualified people to use it. And my concern is the weed management. Like, it's also very hard for the farmers to manage the weed.
Absolutely. Yeah, you touched on some of the structural challenges of agriculture, like labor availability and qualification, and then the climate extremes, right? Alex, as we continue to evolve our Seedcare Institute towards an offer that integrates our traditional crop protection with biologicals, what is next?
What is coming? So the innovation that we're doing in the services is really strongly focused on the biologicals at the moment, to make sure that we can talk about what's there on the seed, and to be able to do those characterization measurements actually, that the people can really have good confidence that the treatment is there, that it's going to work. And that's we're also trying to move those measurements from our laboratories, where in some of the big countries where you have maybe one laboratory in the center of maybe a big country like Brazil, for example, right? It could be many days before you can move your seed samples to the laboratory and out again. We really want to bring more flexible, smaller tools that people can take out in the field. They can work with the grower. They can show them what they need to show. Maybe even beyond the seed, even into like the young plant growth stages, some measurements on the soil or on the leaves to show that the activity is there, that maybe the stress reduction or an improvement in plant health. And that's really where we're focusing now, is to move it beyond the seed and from beyond our laboratories.
Perfect. Thank you, Alex. Cezmi, you've done a great job so far. I almost feel like we are in your Manisa farm. Next time we should do this in your Manisa farm. But final question: when you think about the future of your farming enterprise, what is next? What is your next challenge? You've talked about the challenges, but what is your next opportunity as well?
Our first goal is we want to increase our production quality. Like, uh, we also produce much, but we should increase the quality of our product, cotton, because the textile industry wants different things. They look to fiber length, the garbage percentage inside. So we should require that requirements. Also, we want to heal our soil because it's the most valuable asset. If we heal our soil, our production cost will get lower. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. I look forward to hearing from you on the future of your farm. So with that, I think we can wrap it up. I think we've heard some very good insights from you both, from different sides of the value chain. And this is basically what we like to do, right? To hear from the customers at different levels in order to have the more tailored offer we can. This is a critical process for our innovation pipeline. So I would like to thank you both again and thank our audience here and our audience virtually as well, and look forward to engaging in more of these conversations with you all in the rest of this World Seed Congress in Istanbul. Thank you very much.
Thank you.